Davy, and I'm awesome. And welcome to Davy's Awesome Wrestling, where I review wrestling-related things all from the perspective of a fan, not an insider. This week, the NWA hosted a pay-per-view, Alwayz Ready. A pay-per-view for Matt Cardona, their champion. Let's get into it. The opening match was billed as Aaron Stevens' Swang Song, which was Aaron Stevens versus former NWA champion Trevor Murdoch. Now, I gotta say this, it was an okay match, but if this was really Aaron Stevens' Swang Song like his last match, then that's a little disappointing. Like I said, it was okay, but I think that his last match could be a lot better than this. I mean, there was some decent back and forth, a little bit of wrestling, but mostly brawling, because obviously it's Trevor Murdoch, and that's what he specializes in. Don't get mad, that's not to say he can't wrestle, he's just more of a brawler. At one point in the match, Stevens injured his knee. Of course, Trevor, being the brawler he is, focused on that, until he was able to get his top rope bulldog onto Stevens and get the pin. So in pure wrestling tradition, if this is really Aaron Stevens' last match, he went out on his back. Like I said, it was decent, it just wasn't what I would hope for Aaron Stevens' last match, but enough to where I will give it a good 3 out of 5. Yeah! Second match was for the NWA Women's Tag Team Championship. A rematch from the Crockett Cup, where Pretty Empowered, Kenzie Page and Ella Envy, challenged the champions, the Hex, Allison Kay, and Marty Bell. The Hex, of course, having been tag team champions since NWA Empower almost a year ago. After watching the Crockett Cup, I was expecting a much better match. This was still good, but it did not live up to their first match. Problem was, this match started out okay, but you can tell that they were getting gassed at the end because Pretty Empowered, towards the end of the match, their moves were getting really sloppy. But after a low blow to Marty Bell and a pin by Ella Envy, Pretty Empowered finally took the championships off of the Hex, becoming the new NWA Women's Tag Team Champions. So I will give it this for the excitement of titles changing hands, not to mention the first part of the match that was really good. I will still give this one a 3 out of 5. Yeah! Third match for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship, PJ Hawx challenged inaugural champion Homicide. This match was really good, like I would expect. PJ Hawx is really good for a 23-year-old. I would dare say he's someday going to be better than his dad, which is saying a lot because Luke Hawx is a great wrestler. And to be in there with Homicide, of course, this was going to be great. And it was. A lot of intensity, great back and forth, good storytelling, until Homicide got the cop killer on him and got the pin, retaining his championship. So yeah, for this match, Homicide retaining his championship, definitely would give this one a 4 out of 5. Yeah! But the real drama came after the match. While Homicide is showing the proper respect to PJ Hawx after a great match, the Fixers came out and attacked PJ Hawx and Homicide. Even when Luke Hawx came down to try to defend his son, they took him out. It actually took Ricky Morton and his son Kerry Morton to get the Fixers out. But immediately after this, on a night of second-generation athletes, Colby Corino comes out to cash in his title match that he was awarded for winning the championship series. Making our fourth match, another NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship match between Colby Corino and Homicide. Now, you would think in the tradition of cashing in a championship match on somebody who had just went through a long, hard-fought battle, that this match was going to be predictable and quick, and he was just going to get a quick pin. Not the case! Homicide pulled down deep and took the fight to Colby Corino. So much so that with the drama in this match, plus the outside brawling, plus just, again, the back and forth, I would dare say that this match was better than the one we had just saw. This match was way more brutal and ended with a very cool finish, as Homicide looked like he was setting up for a camel clutch, but rolled it up into a pin on Colby Corino and still retained his title for the night. This match, honestly, in my opinion, was the match of the night that I will give a good 5 out of 5. The fifth match, the AAA Reina de Reinas champion, Taya Valkyrie, took on Natalia Markova. It was a good match, and of course, Taryn Terrell in the corner of Markova, causing plenty of distractions. Only problem with this match is that's pretty much mostly what it was Taryn Terrell's antics. Towards the end of the match, Taya Valkyrie got the Road to Valhalla onto Markova, but the referee was distracted, so he didn't get over there to get the pin. So because of this, Markova was able to get her spin kick and get the pin on Taya Valkyrie. Like I said, most of this match was just Taryn Terrell antics, but I'd still give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah! The sixth match for the NWA National Championship, former champion Chris Adonis challenged current champion Jax Dane. Calls himself the Dane Event. Honestly, this match really wasn't much of a match, in my opinion. There was hardly any wrestling going on. It was mostly just Chris Adonis trying to get his master lock and trying to do the match to the lock challenge. And that just basically went on over and over again throughout the match until Dane hurt Adonis's hand and then got a big clothesline in the pin. So he retained his championship, but there just really wasn't anything exciting about this match. This match I could really only give a 2 out of 5. Yeah! 7th match, Cyan versus Tom Latimer. This match was okay. There just wasn't that much to it. Cyan gave Tom Latimer a beating for about 90% of the match. But then the last 10%, Tom Latimer was able to come back, get his pop-up sit-out powerbomb finisher, and get the pin on Cyan. That's the thing. I don't really have much to say about this match, considering there just wasn't that much to it. It was just an okay wrestling match. But it was good enough to where I would give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah! The 8th match for the NWA Television Championship, Mims challenges Tyrus. Kind of the same thing as the last match. I mean, this match had more drama behind it because of the rivalry between Mims and Tyrus, but it was just decent. Wasn't much to the actual match itself. Tyrus dominated because he's a big beast, injured Mims' shoulder, and played off that until he got his heart punch and the pin to retain his NWA Television Championship. Again, I would just give this one a 3 out of 5. Yeah! Then for the NWA Tag Team Championships, the Commonwealth Connection of Dog Williams and Davy Boy Smith Jr. versus La Rebellion, Bestia 666, and Mecha Wolf 450. It was a good tag team match. Plenty of drama with Williams being stuck in the ring through the duration of the match. That whole thing of where they basically had cut the ring in half made it to where he could not tag out for pretty much the whole match. Not all of it, but a very, very good chunk. But however, it did end when Williams was not only finally able to get the tag and get a breather, but then Williams gets a top rope exploder suplex, followed by Davy Boy Smith Jr. with a top rope headbutt, getting the pin on La Rebellion, and becoming the new tag team champions. This match, wouldn't quite give it a 4, but a very solid 3 out of 5. Yeah! 10th match for the NWA Women's World Championship. Kylan King challenged champion Camille. At this point, Velvet Sky was on commentary and she left and was replaced by Bully Ray, which was interesting to have him doing color commentary in this match, considering both Kylan King and Camille are graduates of the Team 3D Wrestling Academy. So he definitely had an interest in this match. It was also kind of cool to see Camille wrestling a wrestler who was her size. As we know, Camille is a big woman, so she pretty much dominates everybody she gets in the ring with her size, but in Kylan King's case, wasn't going to work. And I gotta say, this match was really great. It was two big powerhouse women battling back and forth for a grueling 20 minutes. Going back and forth with so much drama that really, this match could have gone either way. Could have gone to the champion or the challenger. But even the way it ended made you go, could have gone either way. As Kylan King had Camille in the corner and was running towards her for a strike into the corner, but Camille was able to muster up just enough strength to get her spear on Kylan King and get the pin and retain her Women's World Championship. Like I said, this match was really good, and I would easily give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah! And then after the match, Max the Impaler came out. So we'll see how this goes. And then it was time for the main event, which was supposed to be former champion Nick Aldis challenging current champion and the man who the pay-per-view was named after, Alwayz Ready Matt Cardona. However, Matt Cardona had to come out and announce that he was injured and could not defend the title that night, but was also refusing to give the title up until William Patrick Corgan, which is what Billy Corgan is going by now, as if this makes him sound more grown up, I don't know, came out to try to convince Matt Cardona to just give him the title and he would get his rematch as soon as he was cleared. While trying to convince him, though, out came the challenger Nick Aldis, who said one way or another he wants a title match tonight. Soon after this, he was followed by Trevor Murdoch, former champion, and heck, the very champion that Matt Cardona got the title off of. Not to be outdone came Tom Latimer, who wants to be in the main event, feels he's a main event player, to try and convince William Patrick Corgan that he should be in the title match. And he was eventually followed by newcomer to NWA, Sam Shaw, who had made his debut earlier that night in the pre-show. As we know, coming off of his release from NXT as Dexter Lumis. Soon after this, Billy Corgan was able to convince Matt Cardona to give up the title and that he would get his rematch later. So now we had a four-way match for the World Championship between Nick Aldis, Trevor Murdoch, Tom Latimer, and Sam Shaw. As expected, sort of expected because we didn't expect this match in the first place, but as would be expected in a fatal four-way, especially between these four, it was brutal and it was intense. The first half of the match was mostly fought on the outside. because as we know, there's no countouts in a four-way. And the brutality continued until Trevor Murdoch was able to get his top rope bulldog onto Nick Aldis, the very man he won the title from, and get the pin and become a two-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Like I said, this was a good match, great drama. Little sad that we didn't get to see the Nick Aldis-Cardona match that we wanted to see, but I'm sure it'll happen in the future. But for now, this main event got a 4 out of 5. Yeah! So NWA Alwayz Ready, overall, was really good. Definitely worth watching, definitely worth ordering. Even though I am not the hugest NWA fan, I gotta admit, ever since Billy Corgan has taken over, it has gotten very entertaining, and they do know how to put on a good pay-per-view. But gotta admit, a couple of the matches in here were just kind of and that's just one of the problems, is when you have that many matches and some of them aren't that great, starts to lag on. But I will say, for the most part, very entertained by this pay-per-view, and I will easily give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah! So there you have it. That's my wrestling review this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications when I post the videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of NWA Alwayz Ready. Love you guys.